I have made the choice to surpass mediocrity in all of my efforts. I will stand for those who have fallen in my name, in the name of people of my color, because they knew that the color of our skin was not a judgment of our brain power and did not decide where our narrative would end. I will not allow my potential to be reduced by the preconceived ideas about my capability to change society, and I stand here bold enough to make these statements because my life has forever been influenced by the activism of Angela Davis, the achievements of Maya Angelou, and the revolutionary ideas of Malcolm X. As you all know, today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a day to commemorate the life of a man who will be eternally revered for his compassion, empathy, leadership, and wisdom. On January 15th of 1929, Martin Luther King was born in Atlanta, Georgia. He was arrested a total of 30 times from 1955 to 1965, and his first arrest was during the widely recognized Montgomery bus boycott. He sacrificed his own life, time with his family, and the security of his home to make social change. He led peaceful protests, instilled everlasting hope, and incited change in a nation on a dark and twisted path. Now to bring it back to current time and place. Here we all are together in our chapel, African American students, Asian students, Polish, German, and African students, and white students as well. We have students who practice a religion like my best friend and roommate Sarah Jane, and we have students who are unfamiliar with religion and don't exactly know what they believe, like me. People from Georgia and people from Nevada, and this eclectic mix of backgrounds and walks of life is something that makes this school so special to me. I am proud to attend a high school where my voice can be heard, where there's representation in the faculty and student body, and where the teachers aren't satisfied with you making an A on a homework assignment, but the end goal is to teach you how to think. Not what to think, but how to think. And the two are quite different. It is simple to teach somebody what to think, but it is much more thoughtful and fruitful to teach somebody how to come up with sufficient thoughts on their own. One of my favorite proverbs that I was taught is, if you give a poor man a fish, you feed him for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, you give him an occupation that will feed him for a lifetime. In a sense, we are all poor to each other in experience and knowledge. I have never lived the life of an 18-year-old white boy, and that same white boy has never lived the life of a 15-year-old black girl like myself. And if we are taught how to think about one another through a slew of incorrect and profiling stereotypes, then that's not a sufficient worldview to have. Making assumptions about people based on race or religion gives the world a disadvantage in being a progressive and peaceful society. But if instead we choose to think about each other without preconceived notions about one another, and take on the job of being a generation to incite change, there is no summit, no plateau, no end to the progression we can reach. So the main message I want to leave you all with is not to conform to these ideas that you think are okay, and to become the change that you wish to see in the world. The climate and culture that we set here is the same climate and culture that we will bring with us in the years to come. We are the next generation of philosophers, artists, engineers, politicians, CEOs, and leaders in everything we choose to do. The change starts with us. I am standing here proud to follow in the footsteps of a man as influential as Martin Luther King Jr., and carrying on a message that I know he would be proud of. This is where we learn how to think, and learn to appreciate different perspectives that everybody has. This is where the story begins. So take a moment, take this day to be inspired by men like Martin Luther King, women like Coretta Scott King, or any positive figure that you look up to. Because in learning from our past, we pave the way for our future. Thank you.